everybody. Welcome to Body, Mind and Soul, where your whole health matters. Nice to see you again. This week, Darcy Martin, my beautiful co-host, and myself are going to discuss another mental health topic. I'll get to that in a minute. But I am also an ambassador for Theraexpressions Meditation in Castor, Wyoming, where there too mental health matters. Check them out on www.theraexpressions.com. And also there is a disclaimer down below. So just got to get that out of the way. Because we can't be blamed for anything. Sorry, guys. We come to you as friends and with our own ideas about mental health, physical health, and spiritual health.
That's right.
And also, more importantly, though, there is a 988 number there for the US residents.
Right.
If you know anyone or you yourself are having trouble mentally with mental health issues, please know you're never alone. You can reach out to them. And there are a couple of numbers down there for Europe and Australia as well. So you too know you're never alone. That's so important. Just remember that, guys. Jumping straight in, Das. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing?
Hi, friend. Hi, my darling.
Good to see you. So this week I thought a good topic. We all go through it. We're going to talk specifically about relationships because it's easier to direct it that way. When you're in a loving relationship and you get along, and the base of the relationship is love, and you know that's the fact. But then you start to nip at each other because one person may be in a better mood, the other one may be in a bad mood, just because life, things happen, different experiences happen, but suddenly you're like, hang on, we're not crossing the right paths. And this is this is happening with me right now. And it's challenging because we both know, blessed, thank God, we're very fortunate because we both know there's no reason for us to not to be like or misinterpreting each other, but we are. And so it's uncomfortable and it hurts because it's like, but we love each other. So why is this happening? And I did just say to Darcy before we got on here, as well as the planetarium effects right now, the equinox on the 20th and the new moon in Aries coming up just fiery, and just the whole planets. I mean, come on, can't deny that. But aside from that, this happens to everybody. We know it. And how the hell do we deal with it without? I mean, I'm lucky. I'm in a place where I have a beautiful partner who we can go, oh, this is bad, sucks. I can't wait to get out of this one. Let's just move out of this one. But that's probably not. I wish it was, but that's probably not normal. A lot more people probably just struggle and bounce off each other and don't see that this is life, and how do we work with it? So I'm here for answers pretty much this week. Aren't I every week? But this is like a really interesting thing that sort of spun me out going, God, it's even more frustrating when you're aware. When we're so aware and we're so loving and we're so caring, but it's still just like doesn't seem to like everything's being misinterpreted and mismatched, and like I didn't mean that, or you didn't, and then we get triggered off each other. It's like So anyway, yes.
Wow.
Hello, Darcy.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, darling. Yeah. That's good one. That's really good to talk about. I had somebody say to me the other day, it's so much harder to be nice than to be mean or nasty. And I said, she goes like, it's so much harder, she said, to be good than to be, bad or misbehave. And I said to her, well, let's change that phrase, because the reason that it's harder, I think, is because being gentle or kind or good or any of those things requires consciousness, and it requires self-honesty, being honest with the self. And so it really isn't harder, but it does require a person to always realize that all relationships are 50-50, and that to be conscious and have consciousness when you're relating to your partner is what it's required in life of everybody. If we're mad at our partner, or if our partner's irritating us and we let the irritation take us, and then let's say we go and we diss our partner to our friend Or perhaps we have a friend who's irritating and we diss our friend to our other friend. Then what we're doing is amplifying that negative energy. And then we go back to our friend and they do something. And then we're like, see, they're doing it, right? Because we just amplified that. But if we can go take a moment of consciousness and say, wow, this behavior is really irritating me. What is it in me that is being irritated by that person's behavior? Because no one makes you anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't make you irritated. You are irritated by something going on. And so take responsibility through your consciousness to say, I'm feeling irritated today. And everything that person does in my scope is irritating me.
Yeah.
I better go do my work and say, you know, I think I need the day off today. I need some me time, some alone time, I got to do some work.
Well, it's funny. I did do that kind of thing, and it's actually, there's a tone of voice that's changed a little, because I think just because of where he's at, he's going through something himself.
Right.
It toned into my ex-husband, where everything was like a threat, or and I've gone, I don't need to be talked to like that. You know, like, and I know this is like, but then saying that it's a trigger from my ex-husband causes another layer of tension, because one does not want to be reminded of one's ex-husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's kind of tough. And so, but the conscious awareness less is there for me and my man. But I think that also, as people listen, because it is conscious awareness to help you soften the effect on each other, but also take responsibility. Because it is, as you said, it's no one can make you feel anything. It's I get affected, so why am I have to research that? But then, like, what do we do now?
What do we do now? It's a great question. What do we do now? Yeah, I really love that. It's like, well, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You know, I think the very first thing you have to do is you have to pull back so that you're not emotionally engaged with what's happening. You know, I mean, you can be intellectually engaged or conscious of what's happening and try to separate yourself emotionally from what's happening, because that emotional reaction is what starts to create the problem. So if somebody is snippy with you, you know, if you say, hey, do you want to do XYZ? And they go, no, you know, and they're snippy. Okay, I got to step back from that a second. Otherwise, I'm going to turn around and go, well, aren't you just a SOB today? Right. And then that's going to go into a whole thing. Right. So I can step back emotionally because, you know, you are not the target. This is not about you. And then once you step back, you can call that person on it. You know, that I asked this question and I got this very snippy response. Is everything okay?
Okay, and what if that is asked, then and they don't see that it's happened?
Oh, they don't see it. They didn't understand it. Okay, then you can say, fine. I just want you to know that's what I noticed. That's what I noticed today. And I'm going to go sit with it. So maybe you could hear that coming from me as well.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
You know, and so you just say, okay, if you didn't notice it, okay. Go ahead.
It's really taking the emotional connection out of it, like, which is so hard for me. I mean, Pisces woman, bloody hell, just Jemima, the whole thing. But people, you know, like, and with an Aquarius, I mean, geez,
yeah.
So earthly bound, so practical. But so yeah, so if I can practice to detach my emotional effect on me and do everything I'm doing, but take out the emotions.
Yeah, and the way you do that is you take a pause. You're like, wow, that was a tough sentence I just heard from that person. I need a minute. I'll get back to you in 1 second. And go and do some deep breathing. Go and do some deep breathing. Do some meditation. Clear your mind. release those big feelings that are probably coming up, release those thought patterns that are coming up by doing some meditation that focuses your mind, steadies your breathing, and puts you back in your body in the present moment, becoming
And if,
present.
right. And if then after I've regained my composure,
Yes, yes.
and go back and go, hey, like, just try and take two, but it's still not working. Do just like, because it's their day, it's that what everyone has a day.
Yes.
Just sort of, I don't want to have to remove myself, but I have to be more compassionate and allow them to move through it, I guess. Okay, I just
Yeah.
that's my question.
Right. You can also, when you go and meditate, and this, I really like this particular meditation, do whatever your breathing meditation is, get in your body, do your meditation, and that at a certain point, visualize that person and cover them in pink light, cover them in pink and gold light. Maybe they need a little bit of softening themselves, or they need that energy to help them balance. And then maybe they also just need some space. Maybe I call it low biorhythm day. That's what I call it. Maybe they are the one that needs some space, and you can say, hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store, or I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to go read, or whatever. And what do you want for dinner? I'll see you back. And when you come back, then you can say, how are you doing? How are you feeling? See if it's still there with them. But make a little space. Take some space. Give them, it's their low biorhythm day. So you don't need to take responsibility for it. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to take it on. You don't need to let it trigger you. Their stuff is their stuff. Your stuff is your stuff. And then when you feel that equilibrium or that equanimity inside of you, then you can come back and be supportive.
Yeah, I think it comes to that trigger thing too. Like, I haven't been triggered like that for, I don't know, since it happened with that actual person. And it's kind of weird because I didn't know it was still so fresh in me. Like, I haven't had it in my life again, and there it
Yeah.
is. And I heard myself exactly the same tone. I thought, damn, this is, I didn't realize how much, the onion layers still have to come off with the healing of my past relationships, still so deep. And that's just a bloody well annoying fact, but it is true.
Well,
Another layer, and then we get to heal another layer. So, yeah, yes.
how many years were you in that relationship that past? 14 years. And
14,
then huh?
14.
And then how many years were you in an addictive behavior and in that relationship?
14 years.
Oh, 14. So it's like, we got right on that path together and sailed. Well, not really sailed, but bumped our way around through there.
I was on and off. I was on and off until the last 7 years. But yeah, I mean.
So, hey, yeah. How many years have you been sober?
3 and a bit.
Yeah, there you go. How long have you been in this relationship?
Nearly 2 years.
Brilliant.
June's 2 years. Yeah.
So give yourself, give yourself a pat on the back for being conscious, observing, and taking responsibility for yourself. It's pretty amazing that you've been able to do that in just 3 years and be in a great relationship for 2 years.
Yeah,
that's pretty wonderful. And you're going to go through these things, like you said, your onion layers. But the great thing is you're going through it with consciousness.
Yeah. I mean, hallelujah. Imagine, like, it's because I can see where this could go if I was my old, like, it would just be, I don't even want to, just the tone of my voice was like, oh my God, I just sat hear myself like, oh no, I'm not back there, like, so, okay. I mean,
so I have this friend of mine was telling me that her partner is a A-type personality. And when he wants something, he wants something. And she might be otherwise engaged, right? like she was like might be in the shower, or she might be, have all of her stuff out and be fixing things, and he'll holler and say, we need to do this right now, where is it, you got to get this. And she said she used to create anxiety in her. She used to jump, and then she used to yell at him, can you just get me out, this kind of thing. And they go back and forth and back and forth. So since she's been learning to meditate, what she does now is, if she's engaged in something and he does his thing where he yells for her, she'll say, I'll be there in a minute. Give me just a minute and I can answer all your questions. And then she'll go into the bathroom, do her deep breathing, take her time for herself, and then she'll just laugh and say, there he goes again. And she'll walk forward, and then she'll say to him, okay, question number one. Question number. So she's really setting some boundaries, right?
Yeah.
She's taking control of it in a compassionate, kind way. But mostly what she's doing, she's taking care of herself by doing her meditation, taking her deep breaths, right? And doing it that way.
I've got an amazing quote. My, how you've changed since I've changed. I mean, I love it. It's perfect. It's like, yeah, I mean, everyone does have to change around you when you change, or change with the relationships, the dynamics of the relationship change, because it just has to. It's not no longer that person. That's so true. She's taking steps to lovingly create boundaries, but alter that stressful environment to like copable, because they're married and they're blah, blah, blah. So that's beautiful, beautiful.
And she said it's been so much better because now they're not banging it, knocking each other's heads with stuff. This is interesting, Jemima, because I used to have this little circle of friends, and my family was very critical of me, and they used to kind of pick on me quite a bit, and like, oh, don't let her look at you with those dark pits for eyes, this kind of thing. And they just make these kind of like funny comments, make these funny jokes. And then my friend used to make these funny jokes a lot. And my ex-boyfriend used to make these funny jokes. Oh, careful, if she gets mad, the roof may blow off. Or, like, no one wants to get in her way when she's got something to do. Just these funny comments. And I finally started going, wow, those are just really hurtful, and they're so diminishing for what's happening with me. Like, if I even said, hey, I don't like it, everybody like, oh, she doesn't like it. It doesn't matter how I said it, they would just make a comment on it. And then they started to make a comment on everything. Oh, you always have fruit with your food, or oh, we have to have the salad or we have to. I mean, it was a comment on everything. And finally I had to say to everybody, you know what, this doesn't work for me anymore. I really have to ask you to not give me these kinds of comments, and I'm going to have to call you on it when you do it, because it's hurtful, it's diminishing, etc. It took a lot for me to learn how to say that for myself, setting that boundary.
Set those boundaries. And then, I mean, did they respect that? I mean,
well, one of them is my ex, so yeah, I guess, but not really. And then, yes, my other friend has come along, and I can still bust them on it occasionally and say, that's one of those comments I was talking about a long time ago. So they've learned that, so and the reason I'm saying that, so if, you give your partner this wide space for having a low biorhythm day, and it was just a snippy comment, or they were just kind of being short answered, or this kind of thing, and you start to see, this is becoming a pattern, then that's something that you'll need to address separately. That's right. And then yes, if the person cannot accept that perhaps their language is not kind, or their delivery is hurtful, then you maybe need an outside help with that.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, because I don't think long-term is an issue, but from my perspective, I know a lot of people might have long-term issues, and that is another check-in again, like you've got to reassess the situation. But for these short-term ones, awesome. Pause, conscious awareness, take responsibility. I like all these points, and then just give each other space. I mean, because
Mhm.
especially if it comes from love, there was no need for this, and that's what's so annoying. It's like, wow, why the hell is this happening? Just because life is like this, people. It's like a roller coaster, and we all have different roller coasters at different times sometimes. So let's breathe.
And sometimes people will project onto someone they feel safe with
True.
the anger they've gotten from some other place where they didn't feel safe. Like maybe their taxes was really a big bad bummer that year, and then they turn around and they go, can't you cook anything, or you know what I mean, or can't you help me out over here, you're just always doing your meditation or whatever. People start
Well,
deflecting.
it was like my trigger response was like, I was like too much. I was like, don't you talk to me that way. Like, I mean, like, what the? And he was like, what the hell? That's like, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, exactly. It was projection of something else that had traumatized me. But anyway,
Right.
Darcy, thank you so much. Great help. Do you have a card we can pull for us today?
What
Me and
would
my
you,
personality.
yeah, what would your question be?
Give us some enlightenment on patience.
Okay.
Yeah,
Patience.
patience when it comes to healing with others and
Patience.
with self.
Say that again.
Patience when it comes to healing with others and with self. Like today, it took patience. I think it's taken patience for both of us to just breathe and go and try and not push it anymore. Like, so yeah. And I feel triggered, so I feel like I gotta just back off. I don't want to at all create something unnecessary. It's like, so it's just very interesting watching my behavior, and I think he's just as aware too of his. So
Right,
it takes
right.
awareness. I don't mean patients like as in patients in hospital people. Anyway, side joke.
I'm not very connected or in my body today. I have to say, I wanted to have a meditation before I started my conversation with you, and I didn't get to it, and I had a very busy day. And so, I'll ask the cards to, we're looking at patience. We'll look at patience, but we'll take whatever the cards want to talk to us
They
about.
tell us the right thing anyway. They always tell us the right thing, what we need to hear. So I trust
Yeah.
them, even if we might be feeling a little funky, out of body. I think the cards will still speak to us. It may not be about patience because they may say that, but you answered your own question. So let's give you something else.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Well, I'll tell you what I pulled. Oh, by the way, I'm using Rodley Valentine's cards again.
What are they? I'm on my phone. Are they angel cards?
Oh, yes. So they're the Angel Tarot cards. Angel Tarot cards
I love
by
those names. So
Rodley Valentine.
thank you.
You're welcome. And I
I
pulled Zero,
oh shoot. Okay.
the dreamer.
Or the
And he
beginning.
uses Archangel Metatron. And it says, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities.
Okay.
So let's
We'll
see.
take that.
Yeah, right. I'm okay with that. I could use a little leap of faith today. Follow your dreams and okay, the dreamer. So it's the dreamer. It's a major arcana card. So this is probably like the fool, I bet. This is similar to that, I'm sure. Okay. It says, there we go. It says, the angels bring you this card because you're entering a new and exciting phase of your life. It is important that you believe in yourself and know that the benevolent universe wants you to succeed. And now is the time for faith and commitment to your dreams. Take any necessary steps to move forward with confidence. Listen to your own inner guidance about following your dreams. Be open to information from others regarding the detailed steps to take. You may need additional input or guidance from an expert before proceeding, but don't let this stall your forward movement. Actively seek the insight you need. Additional meanings of this card are leaps of faith, creative solutions, unexpected opportunities, asserting your independence, the need for optimistic approaches to challenges. And Archangel Metatron is the overseer of those who are new to the spiritual path and to young people who are spiritually aware. He's a wonderful guide to call upon to help you overcome awkwardness and fully commit to taking action and moving forward toward the fruition of your dreams. With Metatron's help, you can retain childlike awe and wonder while making your way in the world.
Beautiful.
So I think that that's very helpful with this, because this is what you're talking about is if I can't quite, work on our language together, then maybe I'll need a little outside help with that for the two of us. And that's,
Here comes Darcy.
I'll be
Thank
objective.
you.
I'm always objective.
Bless
For
you.
everybody, I'm always objective.
Thank you so much again, Darcy.
My pleasure.
I hope you've got some pointers there. I think some key points there to how to deal with some tense moments with the ones you love, just because it's life. Anyway, peace out. We love you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and come back next week. Mwah. Love you, Darcy. Thank you. Now on my phone, so everyone wait and see my mistake, how I stop recording. Okay. Okay, stop recording, and then we say bye-bye now. Bye, everyone.